You know, it's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
I blame myself. So do I.
No sense worrying about it now.
The Rock of Salvation, 107.1 KOUJ LP, Norman, Oklahoma.
KOUJ 107.1 FM, KOUJ.org. It is the Rock of Salvation. And you're hanging backstage with Stevie B and going to the phone lines now with the Grave Denial. What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Oh, man.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing awesome. Pretty excited about this. And we got us another one of them top 10 bands here on the station.
Heck yeah. It's awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You guys are number 6 right now on Christian Music Weekly. And, man, what's it feel like to be in the top 10 spot?
A little overwhelming. It's something that you pray for and hope for. And when it finally happens, it's kind of surreal, I guess.
Right.
Still, still trying to soak it in, trying to believe it.
Right. It's definitely a cool tune. I totally dig Cloak and Dagger. Man, we started playing it a little while back, and it was definitely one of my favorite new songs out. And like I said, it's been in rotation here, and we were talking about, as I usually book at least like a month or two in advance for my bands for each week. And I was like, man, we got to get these guys Grave Denial. They're on mid-level on their countdown, and they got a cool tune, and we don't know much about them. So tell us a little bit about yourselves with the Grave Denial.
Well, I'm Ryan Carver, the guitarist. We started back in about 2015, moved to Nashville from Montana, and I met up with Jacob, the drummer, and about a year or two later, Steven joined. And then you can ask them the rest.
I got up there, and Jacob and Ryan was jamming, and I saw on Craigslist where they were in search of a vocalist, and went out there and auditioned for them, and they didn't hate it, so they asked me to join, and I was like, heck yeah.
He said they did hate it. I wasn't the first choice, but they didn't hate me.
I'm pretty sure there was a lot better ones out there.
Dude, you got a cool voice. I totally dig it, and man, it grooves totally with the music behind it. So they made a great choice.
Oh yeah, we're very happy. He sings really good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what about the other guy? We've had 2 of you. Let's hear from the third.
The drummer.
The drummers are always quiet, but they're always the wild, crazy one. Why is that?
I don't know.
We're always dealt the wild cards.
Well, sweet.
Ryan, say what?
Say go ahead.
Ryan reached out to me back in 2015 on this website called Bandmix that I joined for meeting up with local musicians looking to start a band, and he came out, joined me, and we jammed a couple of times, and he and I sat down and started talking and said, do you want to try to make something out of this, because I think we really have a unique sound going for us here. And I felt God was telling me to join up with Ryan, and we've been pushing and pushing and pushing nonstop ever since then.
Yeah, you guys definitely got a cool sound, a cool tune about you. So what do you say, so you came from, obviously when we had to call you guys back, we were 3 different, but you got 3 different area codes. Where are you guys from? Now, are you round each other, or?
No, my wife got transferred, so I actually am in Phoenix right now. This is Ryan again.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm furthest away.
This is Steven, and I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, and I came up here the year that I joined them. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, so that's a Mobile area code, but I live right outside of Nashville, probably about 30 minutes out from the city.
How you guys doing after the storm that just went through?
Oh man, it was wild. We didn't get it because I'm South Nashville, but man, East Nashville was just devastated. And you know, traffic was bad anyway around Nashville. So this is just it's pretty bad. It's pretty sad. People was missing and death toll would rise daily, and it's just real sad.
Yeah, we definitely prayers out to you guys. I'm from Moore, Oklahoma, so I know all about we've been hit by every big tornado through there, so definitely prayers going out to each and every one of y'all involved, because man, it just, in one way or another, everybody's directly affected by it, so you guys definitely got us in your prayers. So
yes, it's devastating. I mean, it's been bad. It took out schools and just a lot going on.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy sometimes, we talk about it, and especially, one of the hardest questions you get after an event like that happens, being a youth pastor, I hear this a lot. It's like, why does God allow something like that to happen, and you're like, it's not to our understanding. It's just hard to answer, especially, when you're dealing with kids, working with kids and stuff, and they lose loved ones and stuff, and we're here telling them about the love of God, and and something like that happens and they're just devastated, but we got to keep going as Christians, and and things like this happen, they call us more strong, and now here in Nashville strong, because man, it's an amazing how people come together from every walks of life when something like this happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We're faith builder, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at that's the way God's using it.
We're God's children, but we're still in a fallen world, man, and things happen. And I tell people, life happens.
Mm-hmm.
We can't stop it. He reigns on the just and the unjust.
Exactly.
It just, things happen. Cancer happens. Death happens. You just have to believe in His, grace, and just know that He is good and He's God.
Yep.
It's not our world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of the biggest testimonies come out of the biggest tests. So, like I said, our prayers are with you guys, and we know God's going to work mighty ways and big miracles there in Nashville. And so, we're praying for not just for the healing, but for revival in the land, that, God's glory shines through.
Amen.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
So let's get back to the music, and Tommy, we totally went out somewhere left field there, but that's sometimes God just leads us there,
Yeah, He does. We just gotta flow with it.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon for Grave Denial? What do you guys see? And you got a song that's on the radio. It's in the top 10. You guys about ready to start hitting the road? I mean, the summer festivals are coming up. What's going on with the Grave Denial?
We are doing. I'll let Stephen tell you about the festival we got coming up in May, but after that we are going to do a 74 city tour.
Oh, wow.
And so we will be coming near everybody, hopefully. But Stephen's got a festival you'd like to tell you guys about.
Yeah, May 31st. It's a Saturday. We are having, I believe it's May 31st, but we are having Praise Fest, and you can go on the Lewisburg First Assembly Facebook page to get the all the the time and everything. But it's Praise Fest. We're just going to have, it's going to be a whole bunch of different genres of Christian music. It's going to be a whole community out here in Lewisburg, Tennessee, and we're going to be on the rock stage, just throwing down and just giving praise to God, and in every type of way, in every way of, you know, people using their talent to praise God, you know, and we're going to have, you know, church that night, good old, you know, in a tent, a big, huge tent. There's going to
that
be,
is awesome. A tent revival? That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then, like, during the day is going to be all the music playing, and we're going to have everybody playing at one time. Each stage will have somebody on there. There's going to be petting zoos and bouncy houses, food. I mean, it's going to be huge.
That's awesome. What about that?
So if anybody,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if anybody comes through that way, you know, just come on in.
Yeah, that's man, that sounds cool. And that should be Memorial Weekend, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah,
I believe so. It's Pentecost Sunday, or it's Pentecost weekend, Pentecost Sunday.
Right.
It'll be Sunday, Pentecost. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's what we wanted to do is wanted to do it on Pentecost, and just when the Holy Spirit came, and just praise Him in spirit and truth through this festival.
That is super cool. I'm a little jealous. I wish I was there. That's a little far from Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, you said you had like a 70-city tour coming up?
Yeah, we will be starting out probably the beginning of September is what we're looking at. And so we haven't got our booking agent hasn't got all the cities back to us yet, but we hope to be going to you guys. And also, we probably June 1st will be releasing another single off our upcoming CD, Time to Rise.
Sweet. Well, you know, if you're anywhere around Norman, Oklahoma, get with us and you guys come into the studio here. They call us the Backstage Show for a reason because we have a stage and everything set up. You guys can come in and we can do some live music here on the radio.
Very cool. You bet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, we'd love, because there's been quite a few bands come through here, and we set up all the social medias and go live on Facebook, YouTube, and everything. And so, man, talk to your booking agent, whoever it is, and tell them that you want to come through Norman, Oklahoma, and let's set up a deal where you come up here to the station.
You got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Awesome.
We'll invite some friends out and have just a good night or with some Cloak and Dagger playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Cloak and Dagger, for those people who are tuning in who may not have caught the song on the countdown, let's play it for them. But before we do, tell us a little bit about this song.
Well, this song it's about coming out as Christians, quit being lukewarm, and be bold and rise and be bold for Christ. You know, don't be wishy-washy.
Uh-huh.
Stand up.
Step out of your comfort zone. You know, you get so used to just, social media, being a social media evangelist when, we need to come out and become face to face with people and really do that face to face connection. And, we feel more comfortable, behind a keyboard, but, take it to the streets, the highways and the byways. We're a generation that we need to rise up, and we're the chosen. We're a royal priesthood. We're chosen people. And that's what Cloak and Dagger is about.
Man, I'm so digging you guys. I love it when I talk to a band. We didn't even got to, I don't know if you're familiar with my interviews here that I normally do. Usually it's kind of opener, and we'll play a song, then I come back and ask for your Jesus moment. But, man, you guys have been talking about serving and God the whole way through. So I'm excited to come back and let's talk some Jesus. Right now, this is The Grave Denial with Cloak and Dagger on KOUJ 107.1. KOUJ 107.1 FM, KOUJ.org. It is the Backstage Show with Stevie B and The Grave Denial. Well, I was just talking to you guys before the song and stuff, and I am so impressed with how you guys just want to keep talking about Jesus and stuff. And, man, that's what it's about right there. we've been talking about this for the last couple of years. The Christian music scene, or the rock scene, anyways, has been growing. And I keep telling everybody, I said, we're in a rock revival. And it ain't about the music. We're talking about the rock of salvation. We're talking about God, is bringing bands that are on fire for God again and putting them on the roads and ministering to people. And that sounds like that's where your guys' heart is at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Amen.
definitely.
So what was your Jesus moment? When was it when you guys knew that God had called you? Because it's so easy to go and do music out in the world, but when you decide that you're going to do it for God, when was it that God told you? Or maybe you've done a show and you've seen the fruits of your labor and stuff. So when was it that you knew that this is what you was called to do?
Well, this is Ryan, and in 2013, I'd been in Montana about 20 years, just a little church that I loved, went to it all the time. And then in 13, I was in Albuquerque and went to a big church, and they had a big stage, and everybody was up there, and I just fell in love with it. But I didn't feel I was good enough to play, and so I was praying to God about it, and I said, I can't play that other music. I can't play their music. I'm not good enough. And he told me, I'll give you the music. And I knew right then and there that's what he wanted me to do.
Yeah. Me, it was, I've been in other bands before, which were secular, before my salvation. And so I'd always been in music, and the Lord gave me the gift for music, and he gives everybody the gift, even the secular bands and all these people out there. They're given the gift by God and the callings by God. And, whether you decide to use it for him or not, it's your decision, because he won't impose his will on you.
Right.
And just knew, once I got saved, I was like, I need to do what I've been doing for the world for so long. I need to do it for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that was, this is what he wanted me to do.
Right.
This is Jacob. I'd have to say what was the deciding factor with me when God made it clear that this is what I was meant to do was when part of it had to do with when Ryan first contacted me. I've always been around music my whole life. It came up with a lot of different styles, a lot of different things I was interested in, but when Ryan reached out to me after we'd practiced and he asked me if we wanted to make this official, I was in my mind and I was contemplating. I was like, part of me wasn't sure if I was wanting to, and it's kind of like hearing a voice telling you in the back of your head, kind of like a gut feeling that this is where I'm meant to be. Mm-hmm. This happened for a reason. Everything happens in life for a reason, whether it be positive or whether it be negative. It ultimately shapes you. And that day, I wasn't really the most deciding factor when I decided to kind of let God take the wheel with my life and go wherever he sends me to go.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about it is, it's all about obedience in everything we do. When we give it to him and say, this is no longer about me, but, I'm going to put my obedience and take that first step. And, God, you're just going to have to carry me the rest of the way, but I'll take the first step and do it. That's the biggest step of all. God's, like you said, he gives talent to everybody. He gives it to the Christian and the non-Christian. So it's up to you what you do with your talent. You're gonna go out there and make positive message, or or the complete opposite. So, but once we start hearing that calling, once God starts talking to us, he can only ask. It's up to us if we're going to be obedient or not.
Exactly.
Amen. That's right.
And that's what we've noticed. Was talking about as I was calling the rock revival, because man, it was a few years there when Christian music, it was like there was Christian bands everywhere, but none of them was really talking about God. I mean, they would their music, but to me, when I go to a show, and I don't care if it's at a church, a park, or at a bar, man, if you're a Christian band, you should be letting people know that who you are and why you're there.
Exactly.
Because, you know,
Exactly.
Jesus said, I'll leave the 99 to go after the one. Well, sometimes that one's in a bar, you know, or, you know, in a park, you know, we got to be where God sends us and calls us to go, because the world is hurting, man, you know, and it is the music connects people across the globe, you know, and so it's our music that we can, if we can use our music and show love to people, that, you know, and show them the love of Christ that's in us, that's what's going to change the world. You can sit there on your couch all day talking about, you know, or like you was talking about, you know, social media, talking about this, that, what have you. But it's that connection, that one-on-one with somebody and talking to them. And, you know, I've heard so many times people talk about, man, I listened to this song and God used it to talk to me. And then I met this person and, you know, sit down and, man, it's the connection we have. And it's so powerful to be able to combine the music and the show, and, you know, and get the one-on-one with somebody and know that we're out there, because it's obviously none of us is going to get rich doing Christian music or nothing like that, you know, but you know, we're building up a kingdom, you know, we're being the hands and feet that God called us to be.
That's right, man. We're out there with a fishing pole, man. We got any way we can catch a fish, you know, and share the love of Jesus Christ with them, and let them know that, hey, there is people out there that you can connect with, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, because, you know, especially with, go ahead.
Yeah, it ain't for us. It's for him, because he's the one who made all this possible. He made everything possible.
Yeah.
Amen. That's right.
You know, because especially with the music, you know, so many people out there, and I say churches, you know, when you say, well, I'm in a Christian rock band, we're called the Grave Denial, you know, and there's still churches out there this day that would be like, yeah, we're not really wanting that here. It's like, you know, don't matter. There's somebody in there, you know, that needs to hear this. You know, the Christian, there's, you know, you can't have Hillsong all the time. You know, you got to have the rock and the hip hop to because there's people out there that they may not step foot in a church, but they'll turn on a radio station to hear the music. So
we played a little bar in Alabama, and there was like 4 people in there, and we were looking at each other, you know, what are we doing here? And the bartender came up to us, and we talked to her a minute, and she said, oh, I'm not a believer. Mm-hmm. And then that's why we knew we were supposed to play there. We ended up talking to her.
Yeah.
Yep, and at the end of it, her countenance was changed. Just her overall, just, you could tell on her face, it was just, you know, there was something different about it after. Mm-hmm. You know, so he'll come after you anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He'll send us anywhere to get somebody.
Exactly, and that's what's so cool. I love when I hear Christian bands talking about playing secular venues or bars and things, because, you know, that's showing we're not weak. A lot of people, you know, they put that false deal that, you know, Christians are weak. The only way we're weak is if we do it on our own. We get our strength from God.
Exactly.
And so if God sends us somewhere, He's gonna give us the strength and power behind it. So we can't be scared to kick in that bar or that secular venue and let them know that we're Christians, because there's people out there dying.
Right.
Man, it's been really great, and like I said, I became a fan of you guys. I already liked your music, but that's why I tell everybody, I said, you know, I love doing Christian rock radio. It's, you know, I'm 50 years old, but I said, when I get to the radio station, man, I get my teenage years back. I get to talk to bands. You know, it's because I listen to the music, but then when I talk to the guys in the bands, you know, and that's when I become fans of them, because when I start hearing their hearts and seeing where they're at, and that's when I truly become a fan of a band, and I'm a Grave Denial fan tonight.
Man, I
thank you so much.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you for playing us. Thank you for getting behind us.
So what's some ways
you
that
guys go ahead.
So what's some ways that people can get a hold of you guys and connect and get your music?
We're on every platform, Spotify, iTunes, CD Baby, you name it, you can find us there. You can go to our website, thegravedenial.com. We have merch on there, everything you need.
We have a music video out for Cloak and Dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the lyric video for our last single, Fake. The Fake stayed on for 39 straight weeks, or how many weeks did Fake stay on there, Brian?
I believe so.
So, I mean, go and check us out everywhere, anywhere you can find music.
Yeah, I posted your video for Cloak and Dagger a little bit earlier for the people to check out before they got on for the interview.
We also have a .com, thegravedenial.com.
Thegravedenial.com. There you go. And man, it was so great talking to you guys tonight, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more stuff from you guys. And definitely, man, when you guys get anywhere close to Norman, Oklahoma, hit me back up, and you guys come in and sit in the studio, and let's jam some songs.
You bet.
We will, man.
Oh,
we will.
You know it.
All righty. That was The Grave Denial, and we're going to end it with their song Fake here on KOUJ 1071, KOUJ.org.